Very good morning, FYI family. Good to have each and every one of you here with us. It's 20th day of May 2024. Welcome to our broadcast, each and every one of you. What kind of weekend did you folks have? Big weekend, lots in the headlines, starting from Iran, lots in the headlines, lots. Ibrahim Morsi, the chopper went down, the president of Iran. Yep. And very early this morning, we learned that didn't end so well for himself and his foreign affairs minister. This is Iran. Lots happening, folks, internationally and locally as well, foreign and domestic, folks. Lots happening, but good to have all of you wonderful folks on with us this morning. Brennan Thomas, Debbie Collins, Tommy, Claire Alexis, Charmley Richmond. Do let us know, guys, if you're hearing us, if you're reading us loud and clear. Do let us know. A very good morning to you. How was your weekend, folks? How was your weekend? A lot of things happening locally over the course of the last weekend, and we're going to bring you guys up to speed with a couple of them, folks. A lot happening today as we start today, Monday, the 20th day of May. 10 days left in this good month. It's been a good month. Has it been a good month for you, folks? Do let us know. If not, we still got some time to redeem it. A couple days out, folks. A couple days out. Good to have so many of you on the live today, folks. So many of you on the live this morning. How you all doing? Good to see each and every one of you. And we're using the time. Renella Garnett and Brenda Braffett. Thank you so much, Brenda. Brenda says loud and clear. Lyndon Gill, we are sharing to some of the other places. We want as many persons to get the valuable and credible information as possible. Aubrey Stevens and Yvonne Ramasar, good to have all of you. Magnell Barrow is here as well. Vashti Pollard, good to have Vashti with us this morning. Good to have Vashti with us today. Good to see all you great people there. Orwin Dawn Cook, Yvonne, and all the folks. Thank you so much. Just got some coffee brought in, folks. This is the best start of the day. Margaret Nelson is here with us too, folks. Good to have Margaret too, and all the other folks joining us today. Great to see all of you guys on the live this morning. Forbes and Yvonne, who having the oats, who having the porridge, who having the toast, who having the bacon and eggs, or just eggs, or maybe just bacon. How you guys are doing? How the cost of living treating y'all? First up this morning, Vashti Magnot. Edward Brooms, we see you there. First up, how the cost of living treating y'all? That's where we rocking and coming from this morning. A very good morning to each and every one of you, and welcome to our broadcast. FYI, for your information. Folks, share the live. Smash that emoji button for us, folks. I didn't know to share the live. That refrain is such a big thing. You know, lots of places I go, that's how people introduce me. Share the live. Love it. Love it. Love it. People got to know it for some reason. Might as well be a good reason. Share the live, folks. Smash that emoji button for us. Don't let nobody steal your joy today, folks. Don't let nobody steal your joy today. Let us touch the things of this world lightly. Lightly. I grew up hearing my pastor say that. It makes more sense now that I'm older. You know, some things you understand better by and by. Some things you just understand better, folks, by and by. But good to have all of you folks here with us. It's another week. Another week to make a difference, to get things right. How are you folks doing? All the folks hurting this morning, one way or the next. Oh, we feel it for you. We feel it for you. You're in our thoughts and in our prayers. All the folks having some challenge. You know, as long as there's life, we're going to have those challenges. As long as we have breath, we're going to have those challenges. But it's how we surmount them. That's how we're going to be remembered, you know. That is how we're going to be remembered. It's not the challenges that came our way. It's how we surmounted them. You know, that's why we ought to live. Not just live, folks. You got to thrive. Whatever's the situation, you know, don't let it become more than any of us. But good to see all of you this morning on the live, good folks. I see Donna DeBarros on the live with us and Lone Wolf on the live. Lone Wolf says, cheers, a fabulous week. That's how you got to do it. That's how you got to do it. Motivated, uplifted, and strong. Cheers to a fabulous week. Lynn Fernandez is here, and Orwin Don side done share and smash already. Thank you so much, Orwin Don. You know, some people is big people. You gotta tell them one thing over and over. Yeah. Debbie Collins, Patricia Graves, Andy Goodman. Good to see you there. How are you folks doing this morning? I think that's so important. You know, to check in with people, to know how they're doing. That's such an important part of how we should start the day. How you doing this morning? Anissa Yearwood Shepherd, Karen Mohammed. How are you guys doing? How are you gals doing? Donna George, Anton Nicholson. Anton, how are you doing today? How are you doing? Debbie Collins says she's hearing us loud and clear. Good, Debbie. That's how we want to be heard. Ras Ricardo is here. Yep. Ras Ricardo says we're not giving up. Powerful. That's how we got to do it. No giving up. Rena Cummins, who got the people on the back foot there in Peters Hall, got the authorities on the back foot, standing strong for the people of Peters Hall and Providence. Yep, thank you so much, Rena Cummins. Yvonne Ramasaran, Volme. Good to have all of you with us, folks. I know, like the Alliance for Change, the PNCR, they're in the throes of leadership contest there. And folks, one thing I want you to know, you're going to see a lot of things, and you're going to hear a lot of things over the next coming days and weeks. It's all part of the intra-party politics, folks. And we can get through it, you know. We're going to get through it. We're not only going to live through it, we're going to thrive as well. Alexis Boom, good to see you there. And Devon and Yvonne and all the folks. Penelope, good to have you folks there. So don't get jittery when you see certain things happen, when you hear certain things and so on. Don't get jittery. We stand up here. Folks, February is going to make, November rather. It's going to make 4 years we out here. Valid, credible information. I didn't know when we started we'd be out here 4 years, Naomi. Good morning to you. I didn't know that. But here we are, Michelle and Rowena. Here we are. Yeah, it's a lot. Good to have you. Yvonne and Vashti, Margaret Nelson, Winston Marshall, Anissa Yearwood Shepherd, Debbie Collins. Good to have all of you folks on the live this morning. Yep. Warren wants to know if speeding cameras are being installed. I hope so. From what we're going to show you this morning, I hope so. Right, I hope so. Right? I'm trying to read some comments that Commissioner Cole has. Yep, talking about one of the issues on our dashboard this morning. The Dharmlal Diaries. Yep. It's a lot happening. Folks. But good morning to you folks. Trust you guys have had a good weekend. You got in some rest there. You got in some time for self. That's so important. You know, that's so important. Time with yourself. You know, with your own thoughts. Hear yourself thinking. See how far you've come. How far you got left to go. Good morning to each and every one of you. We're going to start with a couple of things. I can tell you it's more than 15 this morning. We can try to get through all of them. It's more than 15. Wherever you're joining us from, share the broadcast so that others might get valid and credible information. Andrew Griffith, Waveney Doris, and all those folks. And you know, I think I saw a comment there from Rena Cummins. It says, Kathy Hughes for leader of the AFC. Yep, best wishes to all of those persons who are going to be contending. And that's what I wanted to say. Best wishes. Wherever the nominations come from, and the lines will change, I'm going to look at it. And at that time, I'm going to make a decision how I want to move forward and how I want to best serve my part. I'm going to wait and see what the nominations look like. Then I'm going to decide, you know, what I'm going to do next. You know, but best wishes to both sides. The Alliance for Change and in the People's National Congress Reform, a great party. I want to say best wishes to all those persons who will be contending for office. Best wishes. We had a very important weekend. It was a 3-day oil and gas seminar. Had some wonderful camaraderie with the folks. I caught the final day. On Friday, we had the sitting of the National Assembly, couldn't make it. Sitting of the National Assembly on Friday, and then on Saturday, folks, on Saturday, I went to, on Saturday, we were in the Essequibo. On Saturday, we were in the Essequibo. Had some good time there too. And then on Sunday, I was at that very important oil and gas seminar and met some wonderful people, wonderful ideas came forward. And you can hear some more about that. Some of those ideas. Oil and gas, folks, we gotta really take stock of this industry and not waste the largesse, waste the monies. Chinese people money. We don't have to waste it. And silly and stupid projects. But you can hear more about that, folks. And I just want to thank all 400 plus of you joining us on various pages who on with us this morning. I want to thank all of you folks. I want to say good morning to all of you. Those joining us on YouTube, all 250 of you, and then we have another 250 joining us now on our Credible Sources Facebook page, evenly split, but now really and truly more people watch us on YouTube. I'm so happy about that. I am so happy about that. Our YouTube channel is just shooting off bigly, like you've never seen it before. Channeling some Trump here. Like you've never seen it shoot off before. Big. We touched 17,000. Believe it or not, a couple of days ago, I think you may have saw a graphic to that effect. We touched 17,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel a couple of days ago. And folks, you're bracing it over. Pleased to announce this morning, 17,600. We've added 600 subscribers to our YouTube channel in the last couple of days. Yeah. Thank you, folks, who keep, trusting us and believing in us. Folks, my dream is to see this thing grow and to become, whether I'm here or not, to grow and to become. That is my wish. That is my wish, to grow and to become. But good to have all of you on this morning. Good to have all of you on. As a matter of fact, great to have all of you on. Yep. Good to see you good folks there. Another day, folks, to be out front. And do let us know if you're hearing us loud and clear. As we said, we started it this morning. You all know every Monday, Sabbath News has this article out, how the cost of living affecting people. And this morning, I want to leave it for some homework. This morning. Go through that, folks. You ain't going to be disappointed. As per normal, people are hurting badly in this country. Hurting badly economically. Anybody want to hear fastest growing economy, biggest GDP, high income country and all of that? And then in the pockets, in reality, right, things not getting better. That's what the Doris is saying. Anybody want to know all those fancy, how much billions? A notice of recent, we spent 200 billion on cash grants for friends, family, and favorites. We spent 300 billion in infrastructure. So then why are people suffering if all this money was supposed to fix the problem? Why are all these people crying out every single week in the Sabbath News? And Sabbath News goes community by community. Thank you, Jacqueline Johnson. Jacqueline says loud and clear. Sabbath News goes community by community and asks people, how the cost of living treating you? Right? This week they were in Guy Hawk, Georgetown, asking residents about the high cost of living. Christopher Walter, for instance, says the prices of items going up when you buy. The prices for rice, eggs are expensive now. When I go to the market, certain greens were sold cheaper before. Now, expensive. Christopher Walter. Their sample this week is Guy Hawk, Georgetown. And that is the one refrain you hear week after week. And that is what this government has to contend with. That is what we have to contend with. That's what we have to contend with. So much going on, and again, people are hurting economically, I think, more than anything else in this country. Economically, and I think all of the analysts will tell you, these one-offs are not sustainable. Like them, you throw 40,000 in somebody's chest. They can't even feel that. At 30,000, they can't feel that. But programs that speaks to the long-term needs of people, alleviating them out of poverty, bringing more people into the middle class, sustainable programs, what people need in this country. Leslie says $400 a pound of cabbage, 5,000 a pound of celery, $300 for squash, 300 for squash. Things are going up. Things are going up. Not down. Things are going up. That's the challenge we have this morning. So I want to commend this article in the Sabbath News for your reading pleasure. How the cost of living treating you. Right, now this, as I always say, is not a new nation out of the PNCR. It's not the key out of the AFC. Now these are publications, party newspapers. This is Sabbath News, a pretty decent outfit. And I'm saying that even though sometimes Sabbath News lashes me personally. You know, that's the role of journalism. They got to pursue the truth wherever it leads. Sabbath News says, in its reporting, capturing the opinions of Guyanese, doing that 76 weeks now. It's always, we hurting economically. We hurting. Crime is a major issue. Right? But it's not how the crime situation treating you. It's how the cost of living treating you. People can bear a lot of things if they could feed the family. But that's not happening. That's not happened for the last 4 years. A lot to get through this morning. So that's number one. I saw Warren Figuera out of Long Island asking some questions about traffic and so on. We're coming to the roads. We're coming to the roads. As we're talking about the cost of living, I saw a headline out of the Department of Public Information, the DPI. This instead of government information has now become propaganda central. Propaganda central. Oh, government has been engaging Success South squatters since 2020. 4 years now, we can't fix the problem. 4 years now, I see housing schemes pull up faster. I ain't talking about the quality of the houses. I see housing scheme put up faster. 4 years now, they're still talking to the squatters. But like that's all they can do. They can talk. 4 years now. All that's making the news this morning. DPI. Ronald saying it's 4 years now. It's like we're engaging people. We got to fix problems. As leaders, we have to fix. Not just massage them. We got to fix problems. But I hope when you see headlines like this, Camille Cox, Irwin Don Cook, Commissioner Cole, I hope when we see headlines like this, Candy Nelina and their cheat. I hope when we see headlines like this, we're not carried away. We're not carried away. I hope so. Because I remember when those folks at Success were tear gassed by the same government. That's the engagement Kwame talking about. Yeah. I remember when the tear gas those people. Lots of single mothers there. I was there. Saw it. That's the engagement. They've engaged success squadrons. I was there when they shot them with pellets, trying to get them off the land. You all remember that? Shot them with pellets. Even heard live rounds were used. You all remember that? Oh yes, they've been engaging them. Indeed, since 2020. They have been engaged since 2020. I remember when they flood the lands there at Success, the squatting area. I remember when they flood the lands to get the people off of it. You all remember that? Oh yes, they've been engaging Success squatters, all right. I remember Rihanna Mingo. Yep, I remember. One Trade Wind song says, I remember still, and I always will. How this government engage the squatters there. 4 years on, still engaging, ever learning. The good book says, Bishop, ever learning, but never coming to the knowledge of the truth. So they're still engaging. 4 years on, but they're solving problems. Just engaging. When you see what's even happening on our roads, oh, it frightens you. It frightens you. Just the other day, we were talking about the traffic chief himself, who was involved in an accident last year over the weekend of minibus transporting police ranks, they tell us, collided with a utility pole. This is the country you live in. And if you have an ardent viewer of our program, you hear us talk all the time about the carnage on our roads and our waterways. Now it's the carnage in the marketplaces with the prices and the high cost of living. I see Candy says a thin slice of pumpkin, 500. Thin slice. Carnage on our roads. Minibus transporting policemen. I heard the driver was pinned and had to be cut out of the bus. I haven't heard about any fatalities. This is madness. This is madness. How are you solving these problems? How are you solving these problems? Lock back your hands, sir, and then you just whine. And you close your eye and whine, and then you open your eyes and you expect. You expect problems to be solved. Lock back your hands, so what happens? Then you just whine. That's not going to solve problems long term. At his age, might give him some hip problems, might create some problems. That's not going to solve problems. I didn't want to upset you all too much this Monday morning with the video. Police vehicle being involved in a crash. Those words falling in the same sentence. It's like an oxymoron. Some people say an oxymoron. Enunciation. Pronunciation. It's like an oxymoron, an oxymoron. Police bus involved in a crash. You know, when I did red law, you engage concepts like a duty of care. Who has a duty of care? A greater duty of care. You don't expect to see this, but it's common fare. It's common fare. Last week, I think there was a policeman involved in an accident. So this is now a daily occurrence. Those who should exemplify the law and stay within the law are being found too often in the breach. Too often. And it's quite sad. So that was part of the offerings over the weekend. We heard that an 81-year-old lost her life at Eccles Public Road. Folks, look, carnage on our roads and our waterways. Carnage. Sheer carnage. And how do we put heads together and solve some of these problems? How do we do it? These are probably big issues that should make the agenda at party conferences, maybe. No. You run on the stage, you lock back your hand. What ups? You just, yeah. Problem solving 101. Problem solving 101. She said this occurred at Eccles, and they're telling us that Regional Division 4B investigating this fatal accident of this 81-year-old that occurred on Saturday involving a vehicle owned by one, they tell us, Dilip Gunter. It was driven at the time by one Sanjay Narain, an 18-year-old. And while this, an electric cycle driven by Donovan Douglas, the 81-year-old of Stevedore Housing Scheme. Those were the two vehicles involved in this accident at Eccles Public Road. Right. According to the report we have, the electric cycle that Donovan was on was traveling south along the western drive lane of the eastern carriageway. The driver stopped at a break in the median and proceeded to turn west and then north onto the western carriageway. That's what the report said. The other vehicle was traveling north at an alleged fast rate and collided with the electric cycle. You know the end of it now, the demise of Mr. Douglas, Donovan Douglas, pronounced dead by EMTs who were summoned to that scene there at Eccles. Carnage on our roads. Carnage. How we solve it? Lock back your hand. You just whine and tremble. That's how you do it. That ain't gonna solve problems. It's not gonna solve problems. In front of CARICOM headquarters over the weekend, not accidents. Why? We're not solving problems. You only realize we're on autopilot. You only realize it's a country where we're on autopilot and we self heading for a crash. We are on autopilot. They tell us the driver in this case involved in this accident with a motorcyclist fled the scene. Now that's an offense in itself. We know members of parliament who were involved in accidents in Berbice, who fled the scene, still sitting comfortably in the National Assembly. Wild West. Actions have consequences. Wild West, folks. The report didn't suggest that this accident in front of CARICOM resulted in any fatality, but that the driver fled the scene. That's what we're being told. And all is a lot we got to deal with. Plenty story. Plenty story. When these things happen, it's not the end. Amabel Clement, Forbes Meduse, Royston, Jacqueline, Andrew. At the end is the beginning, sorrows. The beginning. They're telling us a man was found on Sunday unresponsive in a vehicle near Heroes Highway. That's a new extension that runs from Mandela, parallel with the East Bank Road. Mandela by the Jumbie Board. Runs all the way now to Diamond. He was found unresponsive. Again, they say that ranks from Regional Division 4B were on patrol in the vicinity of Heroes Highway when they observed a silver grey motor car So the car was parked with the engine running. And that upon inspection, ranks found a man in the driver's seat with what appeared to be blood on his mouth and flowing from his nostrils. Blood was also to be seen on the floor behind the driver's seat. Again, the EMTs were summoned and the man was examined and pronounced dead. Further inspection, according to the report of the vehicle, revealed revealed an ID card. Let me say it that way, right? An ID card of the deceased, and they said they also found a divorce petition, the divorce papers between the same gentleman and the female who resides in the United States. They found this ID card and divorce papers. That same gentleman who met his demise there, and a woman who lives in the US. Police said that the body was escorted to the Memorial Gardens Funeral Home. It is there, it is awaiting a post-mortem examination. It's a lot. Jacqueline, it's plenty to deal with. Gloria Fraser. It's the country we have. But 13 if we here, we don't lose 3 over the weekend. Look what's happening now at Chateau Margaux. A woman hospitalized after being on fire. Chateau Margaux, Sunday afternoon, on a dam in Chateau Margaux. The report says the woman is believed to be an alcoholic. Right? And somehow was set alight. No indication if somebody set her alight. Right? Or this was done by her. Self-immolation, I think it is called. People got a lot of challenges in this country. We have a lot of challenges in this country. Set on fire. Pick up the story out of Ghana Daily News. Set on fire. That's the kind of country we have. You all notice this one weekend, this is not the monthly news digest. Angeli, this is one weekend. You don't think something, do we? Andrew, you don't think something, do we? I see Andrew no doubt thinking about the Abraham Mercy. That's over the weekend, the Iranian president. And the same thing went through my head as going through Andrew's head. Whatever happened to the black box report, for our fight that we lost. The Iranians going to know one with the black box at their end, and we still waited months after for the black box. Whatever happened to the black box? Whatever happened to the black? I want to know if the head of the army don't wake up and think about that. If he doesn't wake up and think about that. You all remember watching Stretchford magazine? I remember watching Stretchford magazine as a child. And Ron Robinson had a what do you call it? A skit. A sketch. A refrain in it was, whatever happened to the black box? Whatever happened to the black box? That's what I want to know. 940 something of you watching us. Whatever happened to the black box? That's the question I want to ask. Whatever happened to the black box? When I saw what was transpiring on the borders of Iran, and with that down chopper, the president of Iran and his foreign affairs minister, thoughts and prayers with their country and families, my mind went back to the GDF. Omar Khan, whatever happened to the black box? I'm sorry, I ain't got the tipsy things to do it like Iran used to do it. Whatever happened to the black box? This is madness. Naomi said, young people know about stretched out magazine. We found in the black box. My Lord. You all think this country is easy? It is not. It is not. Traffic officer says he's worried about traffic woes near the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. I thought we solved that when we moved the vendors. I thought we solved that when we strong-armed the vendors. You all remember the mayor, previous mayor, Ubrach Ryan, I went, trying to help those people there. We're still in court for that matter. A year and a half now, we're still in court. Believe it or not. Now, there are 2 charges there, obstructing traffic. Well, traffic apparently still being obstructed. Must be a continuing offense. Traffic still being obstructed. And then we, Ubrach, I think, is on the second charge about incitement or something like that. Racial hostilities. Them jagabats can try to get you in something. So I was surprised when I heard the traffic officer talking about the traffic woes at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. I was quite surprised and taken to the back. As you all say, taken aback. I was quite surprised by that. Quite surprised. I just sense to drag out those vendors and move out those vendors and take bread out of the mouth. I see everything running smooth there on the edifice of the GPHC. So I was a little taken to the back when I saw traffic officer says he's concerned about the traffic woes. Since the vendors were yanked away, demolished by this PP government. There's too many cars running there now. Gotta be. I hope they're telling us there's too many cars running there now. They got some traffic cones and some signage and so on, maybe. I hope that's what they're telling us. We gotta solve problems. PP don't solve problems. Sweeping dust under the carpet when you get visitors is not solving the problems. We're kicking them down the road. That's what we're doing. Kicking the problems down the road. That's what they're doing. I was quite shocked. Shook it. When I saw this. I was shook it. But we're watching it. Concerned. Concerned too. But this young army officer, a private I think he is, shot in a home invasion, battling for his life. How crime is out of control. And you gotta ask the question, if you're unsafe as a soldier in this country, who's safe? This is Private Azim Khan. And they're telling us, the GDF that is, that he's battling for his life in the intensive care unit of the hospital. And he was shot in the region of his heart in a home invasion incident at Monrepo on May 9th. And he was recently visited by some colleagues there of the Ghana Defense Force, battling for his life. I think he's 22 years old. He put up a resistance when folks invaded his home and attempted to rob his family. Put up a brave resistance. Battling for his life now. I think the report said he was shot in the region of his heart. Private Azim Khan. Paying the price because crime is out of control. How you solve crime? How do you mitigate crime? Alleviate, mitigate. Yes, throw your friend on the stage, lay like back your hand. What happens? Somebody come and throw a coat on he. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. You realize in the press conferences of the PP, all Jack you want to talk about is oil and gas. And whether Aubrey could dance or not, y'all realize that? That's all we get. That's all we get. The young army officer, Asim Khan, battles for his life. Well, if we can't find out who or what killed 5 army officers, many months later, I don't know if we can protect the common citizen, if we can't protect our soldiers. Or we don't even know how they met their demise. How are we going to protect the ordinary citizens in this country? How are we going to do it? How? You throw an earphone on the stage, what taps? That's how the PAP wants to do it. Something tells me we're not going to solve it like that. Something tells me we're not going to solve it like that. Not an industrial accident. Labor Ministry says it's probing the death of a gutter installer who was electrocuted at a work site. Yeah. Yet another industrial accident. Right. Rise of industrial accidents. That's what we see. The rise of industrial accidents. As one letter writer in this morning's paper talked about. In a number of cases, if not the majority of them, protective gear is always at the heart and the root of the demise of these men and perhaps even women. So we got a lot of deaths in this country. Fatalities. Needless fatalities. And this special category is industrial accidents. Yet another one. We've had 5 perhaps in the last 6 months. So that's the average now. 1 a month. 1.3, 1.2 a month. And one letter writer says, protective gear is the missing factor. And interestingly, this letter writer wasn't writing specifically about this accident of recent vintage. But broadly because they've been happening so often. Adherence to safety measures and protocol, I say it often. I'll say it again. Occupational health and safety can't just be a week. Can't just be a week and you're going back to business as usual. I see Edward Brooms asking the question, where is OSHA? Where's the Occupational Health and Safety Act? All you're hearing about is investigations. You never hear a conclusion. You never see penalties. You never see repercussion. Never learning, but never coming to the knowledge of the truth. How we can solve occupational health and safety deaths? How we going to reduce them? How we going to bring it down? Oh, you dash your phone on the floor. What taps? When he lock back the hand, solutions going to come. Solutions. Fluid. What taps? Wind your way out of the problems of this country. Too many occupational deaths. All you hear is investigation is launched and then you never hear anything else. As we are letter writers, a letter writer in this morning's paper says, that's all it's baggage. It's baggage. I don't disagree with him. But I got one problem with he. The letter writer. He only seen damn as baggage to the PPP's electoral chances. There's a letter in today's paper. I think it's in Sabbath News. You can check it out. Darmlal has become excessive baggage. At least re-election. That's the only thing we care about. What about the general moral fabric and social fabric? Darmlal is not an anomaly in the PPP. Darmlal is the norm. His kind of rascality is the norm in the PPP. He's not an exception. You got convicts in this what do you call it? Central exec for the PPP. A number of them. So the letter writer this morning is saying he doesn't know what is the value of Darmlal. What is the value? He said he doesn't know what is the value. One M Singh. That's what he says. With elections looming and the PPP in election mode, does it want the Darmlal diaries to nullify and overshadow all the good they have accomplished? Mr. President, El Presidente, you need to override whoever is protecting and advising you to stand by your man. This is the letter writer. M. Singh in Sabbath News. Cut your losses now and send a strong message to your top leaders that you will not tolerate any hint of immoral behavior in your government and party. He ain't got that with everybody now. He ain't got that with everybody now. M. Singh says, your party is, well, everybody's watching you. Everybody's watching what you will do. Take a page out of Trinidad's Kamla Prasad Bisesar's book. M. Singh says, in letting people go, right? In airline lingo, you are carrying excessive baggage, irregular shape baggage, lot of shade throwing out, oversized baggage, is this Phillips? Or extra weight, which will cost you some money. You don't want this to cost you re-election. Here MC goes on to state, you see how people running, you see how people now know they can go to the UN Human Rights Commission and complain? That's how the letter writer ends the letter. You see how people know they can go to the UN Human Rights Commission and complain? So why would you protect someone who brings you no political value? Step up, Mr. President. Be your own man and do the right thing now, sooner rather than later. Sincerely, M. Singh. That M. Singh. That's what the fella wrote. Excessive baggage. Excessive baggage. The people at Isano said this bridge, fastest growing economy in the world, biggest budget ever. The bridge, not bridging. They need some help. Right? It needs to be fixed. Like so many things in this country. Like so many things, so much squalor, decadence and decay needs to be fixed. Be your own man, Mr. President, M. Singh says. How we gonna fix this bridge here? How we gonna fix this bridge? If I'm gonna put a nail in one hand, how many next? Lock boxer. What ups? What ups? Bridge. Camille says the power ship by her side in Region 6 and the ship not shipping. The power ship. The ship not shipping. The ship not shipping. Anissa, yeah, would say M Sing wants to set up the man. The bigger boss watching. Anissa, you know the whole thing. You know the whole thing, Anissa. Bigger boss watching. It's a lot. 2 men shot by cops during gunfight at Agricola. Wild West. You don't know police from thief these days. You don't know police from thief. Phone company technician shot, relieved of motorcycle by armed men. All that is over the weekend, you know. This is not a month in review. This is the weekend happenings. Welcome to the new week, the 20th day of May, folks, 2024. Who knows what's in store? Who knows what's in store? Technician shot. Spiraling crime. How do you solve it? What ups? What ups? That's how you solve it. That's how you solve it. Spiraling crime. What ups? Yeah. Or eat a piece of cake. Open your mouth. Eat a piece of cake. That's how you do it. I see Naomi sending me some greetings. The PP hates you, boy. I see your greetings there, Naomi. I see. We gotta solve problems. Woman robbed at knife point in front of her home. All these are headlines from over the weekend. We gotta solve problems. How we gonna help her? How we gonna help her? How? This woman don't live at Timbuktu. She lives in Kitty. Robbed at knife point, 29 years old, of Stanley Place. In front of your own house, you know. The report says she's a chef and was about to enter her yard. She knows not she yard, it's them by yard. When 2 men on a motorcycle confronted her, threatened her with a knife and a firearm. The woman who is a chef was relieved of a black handbag valued at $6,000. It contained $15,000 and personal documents and an Apple iPhone 11 Pro Max valued at $200,000. Yeah. Right. Listen to this. A police sergeant who was seated in his vehicle at the corner of Stanley Place and Gordon Street observed the robbery and fired 3 rounds at the suspects. Police pursuing the suspects. Police pursued the suspects. Right? Of course, they eluded capture. Police observed the robbery, fired 3 shots. Well, y'all know our police and aim in this country. Police opened fire and what they suspected to be a vehicle in, what does the law say? Put it simply, about to commit a robbery, or that was involved in a robbery. They fired 8 and something shots, nothing hit. The DPP just recommended departmental charges for them because the occupant of that vehicle ended up being a policeman on his way to work. Do you remember that? 8 and something shots they fired at the vehicle, claiming that they thought the vehicle was involved in a robbery or was about to be some Marie story. 8 and something shots, not 1 hit. So I don't expect 3 shots fired to hit. That's what the report says. Police was sitting in a vehicle at the corner of Stanley Place, observed the robbery, fired 3 shots at the suspects. None hit them. Well, that we know of. They said they're searching visiting multiple health institutions to see and checking CCTV cameras and so. Right? Lot happening. Wrapping up, folks. Watching this land here at Liliendal, I think it's Liliendal and UG Road. It's owned by Lennox Kush, a businessman. Savak News has been following this. Lennox Van developed a place quietly. Savak News, I want to tell you all my plans. Yes, I buy it from a Russian oligarch, Oleg Dairy Pashka or something like that. Yes, I buy it for him. He had owned Russell. The property is valued at $150 million. Yes, I buy it for him. But I don't want to tell you too much about what I want to do this Savak News. That's how the report struck me. I got plans with Savak News. I don't want to tell you too much. Some people like to do the business quietly. Man, I had this property since 2019. Why all of a sudden you worried? You think. Stories we watching, folks. Stories we watching. Brave young woman wrote on social media over the weekend that she was involved in an abusive relationship and that she needs help. I think again, Savak News, always in the ball, reached out to her. Said she never thought she'd be living the life her mother once lived. Of being a domestic violence victim. This is 23-year-old Savitri Mahes. And she's asking for help. Let's get this beautiful young woman some help before it's too late. And I want to commend her for her bravery. Right? I want to commend her for her bravery in sharing her story. Right? But just saying I need help. And I hope more women would adopt her courage, borrow some from her. I don't think she said she's out of it, you know. She said she's in it. I think that's what she said. I never thought that I would have been living like my mom once lived. Folks, us who grew up in dysfunctional homes, we have to try so much harder. So much harder. Because the sociologists tell us dysfunction begets dysfunction. Right? As in saying that you produce after your kind. And if our sister don't get the help she needs, her own kids could be born into dysfunction. You know, we got to break this cycle. And I'm very happy that she has come up front. Right? Up front. I didn't come from perfect upbringings either. So I have to make conscious decisions. Conscious decisions about my life. Conscious decisions. As I said, you gotta work that much harder. Dysfunction begets dysfunction. That's why I see this government all over the place. We gotta help. Yeah. Our young people, I think she said she's 22, somewhere there. 23 years old. She's screaming out on Facebook, I need help. I need an intervention. Let's help her. Thank her so much for her bravery. So much for bravery. And we gotta help. The first 15 things, folks. It's more than 15. I'll give you about 30 this morning, rapid fire. Give you guys about 30 this morning. Thank you guys for joining us. Dysfunction begets dysfunction. We gotta work so much harder, folks. You know, fight for the family, preserve families, and people should go towards that. It's not perfect. Not perfect. You know, nobody thinks to choose single parent or choose divorce. You know, but we gotta fight so much harder. Do so much more work. Do so much more work. Thanks for joining us this morning, folks. Edward Brooms, Audrey Brown, Pam Halls, Orvindon Cook, Diane and Claire and Leonard Zephyr. It's a hard finish this morning. Thank you guys for joining us here. We're about 9:20 this morning. Edward Broom's back in the barrel, but we're just about to eclipse the hour mark for our program. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Anthony Jarvis, Dolly Anderson, Maxine. Folks, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope it's off to a running start already. And if you're feeling down today, borrow some of our enthusiasm, some of our courage, some of our hope and optimism. We send some your way. We wrap it up nicely. We send it in warmth. Dolly, Nigel, Royston, Maxine, Brian, and all the other folks who are joining us today. Have a fantastic day, fantastic rest of the week. We're going to see you guys right back here on the next one, folks. We're going to see you guys on the next one. Stay safe. Auntie Sandra Hanover, stay safe, stay safe. Have a fantastic day. Lover and Joseph, good to see you. Candy, have a good day. Debbie Collins, Iron. Have a good day.